Are you up to your ears in debt? Have you ever considered, yeah, all the camera guys going on. Have you ever considered declaring bankruptcy? Well, we have a woman named Chana Lask, and she is an attorney. She also specializes in bankruptcy. So if you're considering it, or you just want to know how to get yourself out of debt, she's the woman you definitely want to speak to. If you've thought about declaring bankruptcy, the woman who has joined us in our cafe, Chana Lask, is here to help you out. We just saw a case that had to do with the importance of receipts in Judge Wapner's court. We're about to see a case where someone puts purchases on their credit card for someone else, but they end up in court. How difficult is it to prove that you have someone else's purchases, someone else's bills, and they're supposed to pay?
Kathleen, it's very difficult to prove that.
Really?
You should always have everything in writing, no matter what agreement you have, whether it's with your boyfriend, sometimes even your mother or father, I would say. Everything should be in writing. Otherwise, it's a verbal agreement. And when you have a verbal agreement, it's your word against the other person.
Well, you're out shopping with your pals. They say, oh, I ran out of cash. Here, I'll put it on my credit card. Even that?
Not a good idea.
Okay.
Have it in writing, get a receipt, have both of you sign it if you have to. Otherwise, you're going to end up in court, and it's going to be before Judge Wapner, I would say.
Now, all of us maybe carry a little bit of debt. Some of us maybe carry a lot of debt, and maybe we'll find out later that how we grow up has something to do with that. But when should you start considering declaring bankruptcy?
You shouldn't consider declaring bankruptcy as your first alternative. It should be your last alternative. Okay. You should consider talking to your creditors, if it's your credit card or whoever it should be, and try and negotiate some kind of agreement where you could pay it off.
How easy is that, and how willing are creditors to work with you?
They're not that willing until an attorney steps in, I usually find. But you could try it. It's either that or you go bankrupt and they don't get anything.
Okay. Do you have to have an attorney to declare bankruptcy?
You don't really need an attorney, but it's a very, it's not a simple process. It's a very thick set of papers.
Walk me through it. Let's say I have a lot of debt and I'm up to my ears. I really want to start over. What are the first 3 or 4 steps you have to take?
You have to fill out a petition. Okay.
Where do you get that?
You could get it from, in New York we have a place called Blumberg's. It's a form, and it could be on a form. They have it on disk now on computers.
But your local government or city government, or where, a
Not
credit
really,
union?
no. Really from a form type shop, a stationary
store, okay.
Okay, a legal forms center type thing. And you fill out that petition, and you have to show in the petition that your debts each month are more than your income coming in.
Okay.
And there's a lot of there are a lot of schedules attached to it. I think it's schedules A to practically M.
So just because you want to declare bankruptcy doesn't mean that you're eligible to. Is that what I'm hearing?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
So you may want to say, hey, listen, I'm just going to scrap all of this and start over again. But tell me the mathematical equation. Your debts have to be larger than your income. What about your assets?
You shouldn't really have many assets, otherwise the bankruptcy court could come in and take away certain assets from you.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, if you're going to go bankrupt, you should know you don't have really anything, you know, to live on. Say you're bringing in $2,000 a month, yet your debts are $3,000 a month. Your debts are more than your income.
Okay.
You can't survive on that.
All right.
And you have to prove that to the bankruptcy court.
Susan's in our court. She's going to tell us more about the implications of declaring bankruptcy and maybe how to get yourself out of debt so you don't have to declare it when we come back. But we're going to the next case. It has to do with someone putting purchases, or you putting purchases on your credit card for somebody else. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Chana Lask has joined us to talk about bankruptcy. Now, he liked her taste in furniture. She put some of those furniture purchases on her credit card. Judge Wapner decided for her. Do you think Judge Wapner did the right thing?
Oh, yeah. He did the right thing. My opinion, I don't know why that woman put bedroom furniture on her credit card for him.
Not a smart move,
Not
right?
a smart move.
Okay.
But what Judge Wapner went with was the credibility of the witnesses. And it became her word against his, and she was more credible, and he wasn't, and that's how he decided in her favor.
Okay, we're going to take a phone call for Susan. Jason from Kentucky. Go ahead, Jason.
Hi, Kathleen.
Hi, Jason.
I'm here. I was thinking about getting a credit card.
Okay.
And I was wondering what kind of tricks and certain things I should watch out for when trying to get one.
Good question.
Okay, Jason, what you're going to do, look for a credit card with hopefully no annual fee. There's a lot of credit cards out there like that, so you can get it. Look for a credit card with a low interest yearly rate.
What's low now? Give them an example.
If you could get something, you know, below 16%, you're okay. 15% even. Look around. You don't even have to look in your state. You can look in other states. There's credit cards issued from all different states.
You can get them as low as 5 or 6% too if you really look, can't you?
If you look really hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other thing you want to look for in a credit card company is good services, such as if you could return your products. That's a good return policy. If they warrant your products for a year more, you want good customer service.
Now, Jason's just starting out maybe in credit card land. What a lovely land it is, credit card land. How does he build up good credit? How does he get into the right habits so he doesn't get himself into trouble down the line?
Make your monthly payments. Try to do a little more than minimum payments each month. And you should keep yourself out of trouble that way. I also would want to bring up debit cards. You could look for something like that. A debit card is when you put $200, say, as an example, into the credit card company's bank account. You have a credit card, and you could draw against that, and that builds up your credit. Okay?
It's almost like a checking account.
Like a checking account.
Okay. There's some options for Jason. Susan is here. We're going to find out how to teach your children how to be responsible with money when we come back. But right now, we're going to the Q&A. USA Live with the People's Court. Be right back. All right. Susan, Chana, Lask is with us, and I wanted to know how it is that we teach kids how to be responsible with money. What do we do?
To teach kids how to be responsible, you should start them on an allowance.
Okay.
Okay, and give them a weekly allowance or bi-weekly, however you want to do it, and open up a passbook savings account for them. And let them deposit half of it or all of it into that account, and take them to the bank and teach them, you know, how to withdraw and not withdraw too much to become responsible. And I think that's the best way you could teach kids how to deal with money.
Okay. We're going to take a call from Idaho. Carmen, go ahead, Carmen.
Hi.
Hi.
I had a question for Susan.
Okay.
Before we were married, my husband and I had really, really bad credit. And now his credit report looks impeccable, but mine just is in the toilet. How does a person get better credit once it's been on the report? How long does it stay on a credit report? And how can I best reestablish credit in my name?
There we go.
Okay. It's a very general question regarding how long it will stay on your report. There's 3 major agencies. One of them is TRW. That's a collection or credit agency. What you can do is check with the 3 different agencies every now and then and find out how your credit report really is. To fix it, to see how your credit report looks, to fix your credit report, what you could do is open up other credit cards by yourself, such as the debit card that I talked about earlier. That's a good one. And reestablish your credit. Or if you're doing something like taking a loan and your credit is so bad, use a co-signer. Maybe your father or your mother will do it, or a sister or brother. Have them co-sign with you, and you'll be able to establish your credit that way. Because every time you look for a credit card or you sign a contract with a landlord, so to speak, or do a loan agreement with that co-signer, it goes on your credit report and you will build it back up.
We hear the magic number 7 years many times. Does a bad credit rating stay on your report for longer than 7 years?
It depends, again, on the credit company, such as this caller right now. If she reestablishes her credit using some of the techniques I just used, they might be able to wipe it off in 3 years or so.
Okay, great. Susan, thanks for being with us. We're going back to court. It has to do with another credit card dispute, only this one occurred before the litigants got married. We'll be right back.